Disclaimer, I am usually considered a really shy person, and I don't put myself in situations where a debate is possible because I am not very articulate of a person, and it's even worse that I'm actually planning on putting this on the internet for everyone to see and for everyone to criticize. But this is something that I've been thinking about and has been bothering me for quite some time, and I feel like I really need to speak about it. This video is inspired by a video that my friend Chris sent me, and I will put that in the description below. For those that follow my vlog, it was also inspired by my trip to the Philippines a couple months back. I was born in the Philippines and I grew up there and left when I was 12 years old. And now I have been living in Toronto. The Six represent for the past 7 years, and honestly, I am just so in love with this city. Home to 230 different ethnicities. It is known as the most multicultural city in the world, and I am just so blessed. Going back to the Philippines for that trip made me realize a lot of things that I probably would have never realized if I never left. In this video, we'll talk about the standards of beauty that every Filipino kind of knows, and I'm gonna talk about them with a Torontonian perspective. So let's begin with an anecdote. When I was in the Philippines, when I turned on the TV or in the taxi, I would hear about commercials about whitening creams or facial washes that have whitening agents to make your skin brighter and fairer. If you're a Filipino, it might seem like an ordinary thing, but if you played that commercial in Toronto, you would get serious backlash. I know that having fair skin has a lot of historical implications. Like, for example, those that have fair white skin are people that are able to afford a lot of skin treatment, or they work indoors, so like office work, really high business people, rather than working in the fields in a farm under the heat of the sun, considered hard labor, which honestly I commend those people and all the hard work that they put in, because their jobs are really difficult, and yet they are so beneficial to society and so beneficial to the Philippines. It's funny because in North America, makeup companies are actually competing to creating concealers and foundations that perfectly match your skin tone, no matter what shade you are naturally. In the Philippines, they're like, hey, all of you women, you should have fair skin. You should conform to this beauty standard. Whereas here, the makeup companies accommodate you. There's something for you as well, and not just for the specific group of people. The Philippines is situated near the equator, like if you look at the earth, and the equator is where the sun hits the most. So it makes sense that you have dark skin and you have a lot of melanin. So melanin is like the skin pigmentation, what makes our skin dark. Now, having melanin is something that your body needs in order to avoid skin cancer because of where we are geographically. What they call having dark skin is morena. My best friends are morenas, and they've been struggling with this their whole life. Comments about their skin tone, I personally believe that they're really beautiful, and the way their skin perfectly matches certain colors that having fair skin couldn't pull off. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Morenas, Filipinas, be proud, because our skin is our heritage. Another thing that I've realized is weight. This is interesting because you can't really win, and I say that because I have a different experience with this. I've been this skinny my whole life. My dad was skinny and still is skinny to this day. We get comments, it's like, are you malnourished? Are you sick? Are you okay? You look starving. Chug down a cheeseburger, or even a Filipino context, more adobo, you need to eat more. One of my favorite comments that I've had was, Carol, you're so skinny, you're so tiny, you're like fishbone that gets stuck in my teeth. That's great, I love it. I can't help it, it's genetic. I actually eat a lot. If you follow me on my social media and Facebook, I always go on food ventures. There's this one time my dad and I were in the mall, and one of his friends saw him and was like, Rodney, you look way skinnier. Are you okay? Are you sick? And then he's like, no, it's just the shirt. It has a tight fitting. And then the guy insists. My dad and I just look at each other like, the struggle is real. But there's nothing we can do. This is just how we are. And yet people judge us for that. And I understand that it's even worse for the people on the opposite side of the spectrum. It's not even for Filipinos. It's just generally being on the heavy side or the big side, or traditional Filipinos point this out. When I went to the Philippines, there's this one girl that her weight is associated to everything that she does. For example, we take a group photo, people would make a comment on how, oh my gosh, you're taking up most of the photo because you're so big. If there's ever a mention of food, people would look to her because she's fat or big girl. It's just horrible. What I don't like about this is that her weight becomes a part of the definition of who she is, and it shouldn't. Because you are more than your weight. A perfect example of this would be Miss Universe Canada 2016. Sierra Burchell, I love her. I think she did amazing. To see her represent Canada and our ideals so well, people have been making comments about how she's bigger than the other girls, and yet look at where she is. Freaking top 9. She's so amazing when she walked that runway, and I really do look up to her. Sierra, I salute you. You're amazing. I love you. Redefining beauty. What I'm saying is, if you're healthy and you're happy with who you are, that's where you should be. Don't change for someone else. There's nothing wrong with working out and exercising. The important thing for me is that you strive to become the best version of yourself, or who you believe the best version of yourself is. Don't lose weight because you want to look like someone else. One of my best friends is going to the Philippines soon, and she's like, should I rebond my hair? And rebonding is when you straighten it. It just surprised me how in that context she feels that it's necessary for her to straighten her hair. One of the best Filipino rappers ever, Francis M., once said, "Tayo'y mga Pinoy, hindi kano, wag kang mahihiya kung ang ilong mo ay pango." Caucasian noses. Why are we obsessed with Caucasian noses, with Liza Cerverano noses that could cut someone? Personally, I believe that as long as you can breathe through your nose, you're doing fine. You're doing well. Tall noses of Caucasians is what makes them who they are. It's what identifies them as puti. Our noses is what makes us Filipino. Our Filipinos, as my ate JB would call it, is what makes us Filipinos. So why feel discouraged about that? It's another thing that you are born with that you have no natural control of. We should all just feel confident about our noses, since all Filipinos are in this together, so might as well enjoy it and love it. In conclusion, I want you to know that I am not at all criticizing Filipinos, because this is something that our culture is probably used to that we haven't really realized. From what I've learned from my other Filipina friends and my Filipina ates is that these things can actually be very hurtful. These beauty standards can hold you down even at a later age. It actually sticks with you. So I just want to raise awareness about this so that people will be more sensitive about the things that they say. We shouldn't define people negatively. Ultimately, the message that I really want to deliver through this video is that you are beautiful in your own way, and that everyone truly is beautiful in their own way. And as a Torontonian, I personally have seen that beauty is not embodied in these standards. You see different kinds of people, and you see how beauty isn't just one thing. You see it embodied differently in different people. Psalm 139 verse 14 says, "Praise you, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." So all of us are made by the creator of the universe, and I am 100% sure that he knows what he's doing. Or if ever you feel worthless or you don't feel beautiful, just know that he thought you were worth dying for. I believe that having this cookie cutter one-point perspective of what beauty is really close-minded. Embracing our differences rather than using them to divide us and to discourage each other. Being Filipina is one of the best things ever, because I love how we are so united and we cheer each other on in our achievements in beauty pageants, boxing, and singing competitions. Like, we just are full of so much pride, and I believe that we should also have that same pride in the way that we look. At the end of the day, proud to be Pinay ako. Nakakatuwa kasi feeling ko parang dito na sa Toronto akong natuto maging tunay na Filipino at saka magsalita ng sariling atin dahil sa mga teleseries ni Mommy. My favorite is Born for You. Pero higit sa lahat, natuto ako even more na mag-appreciate ng aking Filipino heritage. Kasi dito sa Toronto ko tunay nakita na iba talaga ang Pinoy. Hopefully you like that video. If you relate to this or you understand what I'm trying to say, please share the video, please like the video. Usually I don't post videos that are quite controversial. I just sing songs on my ukulele, covers poetry, and weekly vlogs. So I hope that you subscribe so that you can keep up with me, and hopefully I'll make more videos like this in the future about different topics. I don't know, we'll see how this one goes. Anyways, thank you guys, bye!